It just dawned on me that you might want to watch the machine startup procedure, so we'll let the GoPro run based on doing that. I have a cheat sheet here that I always use. Chris Burns, cheat sheet, air on, check for water and gauge, 90 psi. I go through these steps every time. I don't do it enough on a daily basis to have it memorized just yet, but I'll go through these steps. Check for water. That switch is already on. I should have not had it on, but I did. Not a problem. Bleed out any water that's in there. One more gauge to check. Plus, I'm going to do a review of the machine because I've not had it on in a little while. I want to make sure there's nothing on the machine that should not be here and everything looks like it's okay. I won't need either of the Beckers today because I'm just going to use clamps, thankfully, in the sense that they make an awful racket. We've not checked all of our gauges. I've got the ATC gauge up here, and it's given us the right sort of number. A red control box, power switch and key on. Press green light button with no tool. Yeah, that's on the spindle. Key is on. Control box is on. I can hear air now at the tool changer. Press the green button. We want to make sure that we're feeling air down here. Step 4, red E-stop out, and then press blue reset button. E-stop is out. I heard it click. Check spindle fan. It's up here, obviously. We got air coming out, so we're feeling good on that. Shake hands with all 4 motors. As Chris Burns said, you want to be here the day before there's a problem. This motor has come loose on me a couple of times to the point where I'm glad I checked it when I checked it. And not too late. There's no movement on all these things. Open software. C3, C1, C5. C3 is going to be to home it. C1 is to pick up the tool, which is going to be tool 2, and then a C5. C3. And while it's doing that, I'm going to pull off that piece of OSB that's there because that's from a prior job I was doing. Homing our machine. So we've got a C3. Next one is a C1. I believe. It is. C1. Tool number to change to. Tool 2. Let's run down and pick it up. Finger on the space bar for a second here, but yeah, everything looks good. Yeah, that works for me. C5, hit start, hit OK. Let's move our, I've got these dust collectors, I've got them for wood and for aluminum. I don't want to mix the material. Plus I want to recycle all that aluminum. Now we can remove our material out of the way here. Okay. Now we can bring in our aluminum unit. Where are we going with this? I gotta get a better screwdriver for this. Or a nut driver would be better. Okay, so this is where we're going to clamp our material down to. I don't really have much of a problem that it's so cut into. It's just not going to matter. So why don't we clamp down a piece of aluminum while we're still doing our spindle warm-up routine, because we still are going to need to do a C2 off the top of the material. We're just going to square that off, and that's how that's going to work. I'm going to set up the vortex tube because I want to see the cutting as it happens. Probably okay. The vortex tube gets turned on here. We're definitely blowing cold air out of there. That'll be fine. So, air is running, cooling air is running. All right. The warm-up routine is done. Now we need to do a CN72. I'm going to 0 bit number 2, which is what we have. As Chris Burns would say. You'll see it in a minute, but when you zero the material surface, it goes for what he calls a second opinion. We're going to bring the machine down to 3 and 8. I'm going to put it right here. M3, 3, 8, 2. My move speed is 2, so it's that I should have sped that up or just jogged. Let's move that down to where we need to be. And there's no conflict with the clamp and the spindle. Drop that down. I have gone to clamping only to the bit. I've got a prior video that discusses that at length. We're in place. That's going to be a C2, I believe. Yep, C2 is 0 with plate. Hit OK. There we go. Here's where it goes for a second opinion. Okay, we're 0 to the material surface. Put the plate away. Like that. Hit OK. Jog home with first tool and the spindle and MZ high enough to be safe. We're high enough to be safe. So we're gonna, I'm not gonna jog home, I'm just gonna MH. That'll bring me to 0, 0. 0, 0, 2 is where I want to be. Let's go back to our cheat sheet. Turn on back and dust. We are going to turn that dust collector on when we start the tool path. Move Z to 2. We've done that. Air cut. We're definitely going to air cut. And may the force be with us.
Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.